So deny, defend, depose. You don't have to keep warning all these guys. They've already been pre-warned, and many of them are taking it fairly seriously, and they probably should. Although it does bring up a question that I have. Since I don't clan, I'm willing to look at everything from all sides, and which is the reason I have the ability to see it the way that I do. What is the goal? Let's assume for a second here, and let's be real, that it isn't just the giant corporate oligarchs that you're trying to get rid of. It's the government as well, because most of this stuff, in fact, almost all of it, couldn't exist without government. It's sort of like slavery. Slavery can't exist without government enforcing it. True story. I mean, like, look back through all of history, throughout all the world, and you will find that there is no way to enforce slavery without a giant monolithic state that enforces all of it. So what's the goal? If you guys get rid of all these folks, and don't get me wrong, I'm not judging it. I'm saying, hey, by all means, go ahead. But what is your goal? What comes after that? Because if you think that everybody's just going to gather around and sing Kumbaya, that's just not, you don't know people. You haven't been paying attention. Because most people aren't going to go down that road with you. In other words, your version of a perfect existence is not going to be what other people see, okay? And, so everybody's going to have their own version of it. Now, I will say that getting rid of a lot of the oligarchs that are running all these Ponzi schemes, yeah, I mean, these are Ponzi schemes. I mean, most of this stuff is just a big Ponzi scheme. The US dollar is the largest of them all. Get rid of that, and pretty much all the other Ponzi schemes collapse, or at least they become far more obvious, a lot harder to run them, right, without a fiat nonsense currency like the US dollar, or the BRICS dollar, or the ruble, or the euro, the yen, whatever the hell. I mean, just all these different nonsense currencies. So, I guess my question would be like, all right, you don't have to keep warning these people. They're already pre-warned. So by all means, do what you want to do. But just keep in mind, like, what are you going to replace it with when you're all done? What happens if these people flee the country to Antarctica and move into their compounds in Antarctica? And it's fine. They're free to do so. I mean, either way, the problem's solved, right? They're out of our hair. So what comes after that? And that's the part that I think that most people aren't taking the time to think through, because if you thought it through, then you'd know how to take all this apart without doing any of that.